Every morning you scoop what you think is a healthy tub of yogurt, sprinkle a shiny handful of granola, pop a probiotic capsule, and head to the scale expecting progress. But the number barely budges. The frustration builds. What if that well-meaning breakfast, your morning probiotic ritual, is part of the reason your weight loss is stalled? If you're a woman over 40 who's tried cutting calories and moving more without results, I want to show you a different angle. Not blame, not a miracle fix. Just a clear, practical explanation of how that healthy breakfast can interact with your gut and metabolism in ways that slow progress, and what to do about it. Think of your gut as an ecosystem and your breakfast as its daily delivery truck. The microbes inside you are guests at a long communal table. Some guests help regulate appetite and burn calories efficiently. Others are more interested in hoarding energy and sending hunger signals. What you feed them, sugary yogurt, processed granola, seed oils, or the wrong probiotic strains, can change who gets invited to the table. For some people, that shift increases metabolic drag, low-grade inflammation, bloating, and cravings that make weight loss stubborn. Here are 3 signs your morning yogurt ritual might be sabotaging your progress. Sign 1. You're still ravenous mid-morning, despite a breakfast with yogurt and protein. If you're hungry an hour or 2 after eating, it may be that sugar or refined carbs spiked insulin and then dropped your blood sugar, or that your gut microbes are pushing for quick fuel. Sign 2. You experience bloating, gas, or sluggish digestion after your yogurt, especially if this started after you switched brands or toppings. That can mean a dairy sensitivity, excess fermentable carbs, or a probiotic that doesn't suit your unique microbiome. Sign 3. Your weight has plateaued for weeks or months, even though you're consistent with overall diet and exercise. For some people, certain breakfasts contribute to persistent low-level inflammation or altered energy harvest that blunts weight loss signals. Try a focused 2-week test. Swap to plain unsweetened yogurt or a high-protein, low-sugar alternative. Remove processed toppings and track hunger, bloating, and weight. If this resonates, stay with me. There's a clear 4-phase way to diagnose and replace the trap. If you want a printable 2-week swap checklist to guide this experiment, check the link in the description and save it before you start. Now let's unpack the 3 common hidden traps under that healthy label. Trap 1. Hidden calories and sugars. Many flavored yogurts and granolas sneak in added sugar and refined carbs that spike insulin. Even small, regular spikes tell your body to store more energy and can encourage microbes that harvest calories efficiently, making weight loss slower for some people. Trap 2. Inflammatory additives hiding in toppings and ultra-processed tubs. Seed oils used in many commercial granolas, sweet sauces, or crunchy mixes can contribute to low-grade inflammation in susceptible individuals. Think of it as adding grit to machinery that should run smoothly. That inflammation nudges metabolism off course and can increase joint stiffness and fatigue, indirectly making healthy habits harder to sustain. Trap 3. A mismatch between your microbiome and the probiotic or dairy you choose. Probiotics aren't one-size-fits-all. For some people, a supplement or a new cultured food can temporarily worsen bloating or feed microbes that favor energy storage. Dairy intolerance or sensitivity can also increase gut permeability or discomfort, which again signals stress to the body and slows metabolic processes. Remember, these are possible mechanisms. Some studies suggest these pathways. They're not universal rules. Individual responses vary. So how do you fix it? I use a phased approach I call diagnose, cut, rebuild, and support. Phase 1. Diagnostic. For 2 weeks, remove the suspected culprits. Stop flavored yogurts, processed granola, and that morning probiotic if you suspect it's causing symptoms. Replace them with plain, unsweetened options, or pause the capsule while you track responses. Keep a simple log: hunger levels, bloating, bathroom consistency, mood, and weight. You're not dieting. This is a targeted test to see what your body prefers. Phase 2. Cut the traps. Eliminate obvious offenders. Switch from tubs with added sugars to plain Greek-style yogurt or a high-protein plant-based alternative if dairy bothers you. Toss granola in favor of whole berries, a sprinkle of raw nuts, or a tablespoon of ground seeds. Avoid toppings or instant mixes that list vegetable oils or multiple sweeteners high on the ingredient panel. Phase 3. Rebuild smarter breakfasts. Reintroduce nutrient-dense options that feed the right guests. Combine protein, fiber, and healthy fats to keep you satisfied and steady. Examples: plain Greek-style yogurt with a half cup of mixed berries and a tablespoon of chopped walnuts. An unsweetened plant-based yogurt topped with flax and a small handful of raspberries. Or a protein-forward smoothie with unsweetened milk. A scoop of protein, food-based or clinical guidance advised, a tablespoon of ground seeds, and a small portion of fruit. If you're adding probiotics back, do it thoughtfully. Include fermented foods like plain kefir, unsweetened cultured yogurt, or small amounts of sauerkraut, and consider a clinician-guided probiotic if you work with a practitioner. For some people, timing matters. Taking a probiotic with food versus on an empty stomach can change how it feels, so experiment slowly and track effects. Avoid assuming more is better. Targeted, individualized choices win. Phase 4. Supportive lifestyle moves. Hydrate immediately on waking to jumpstart digestion. Move for 20 to 30 minutes in the morning. Walk, gentle strength work, or mobility to help regulate blood sugar and support gut motility. Prioritize sleep and stress management. Chronic stress shifts microbiome balance and hormones in ways that encourage fat storage. These supportive actions reduce the metabolic drag and make dietary tweaks stick. Here's a practical morning routine you can try tomorrow. Wake, drink a glass of water with a squeeze of lemon. Move for 20 minutes, brisk walk or light circuit. Breakfast, plain Greek-style yogurt or plant-based protein option, mixed with 1/2 cup berries, 1 tablespoon ground flax or chia, and a few chopped almonds. If you want a probiotic food, add a tablespoon of plain kefir or a small scoop of live culture yogurt. Keep toppings minimal. Note hunger and bloating at 60 and 120 minutes. If you're trying a supplement, consult a clinician and introduce it separately so you can see its effect. If 2 weeks of this routine reduces cravings, improves digestion, or nudges the scale, you've likely found a better breakfast pattern for your body. A couple of quick practical swaps. Swap flavored tubs for plain varieties, sweetened only with fruit. Trade crunchy processed granola for a homemade mix of oats, nuts, and a touch of cinnamon. And if dairy makes you uncomfortable, try a high-protein plant yogurt or a savory breakfast bowl with eggs, greens, and avocado. These small, repeatable swaps protect the benefits of fermented foods without feeding the wrong microbial guests. One important safety note: if you have chronic medical conditions, are on medications, or have a history of gastrointestinal disease, check with your clinician before making major changes or starting new supplements. Individualized care matters. If this helped, subscribe and watch the deep dive linked in the description about choosing effective probiotics and building a microbiome-friendly breakfast. Small swaps, consistent tracking, and a phased approach can remove the metabolic drag and get your mornings and your results moving again. You didn't get here overnight, and you won't undo it overnight either. But one wise swap at a time will change who's sitting at your gut's table.